Hello, welcome back to my channel. Nintendo is truly out for our wallets this month. Oh my god. I just looked at my wishlist on the Nintendo eShop, and when I opened the Nintendo eShop, I immediately saw this like big summer sale going on, and holy heck, there are so many games on sale, and I really want to discuss a lot of them. As always, I will be going into games that are on my wishlist that are currently on sale for, well, right now for the month of June at least in the Nintendo eShop. These games are all on sale in the European Nintendo eShop. Like I said in my previous videos as well, I don't know whether it is completely worldwide, so make sure to always check your own eShop to see whether these are actually on sale and what the price is for you. I will just be naming the percentage, and because there's so many, there's about 25 games that I want to discuss. I know. I have divided them up, so we're gonna start out with, you know, the chill, the cozy, the more relaxed kind of games. Then we do have a section for RPG games that are usually a bit more combat based. And then there's a special section for all the Otome games that are on sale right now, because holy heck, there's so many. Nintendo is like making my life so hard right now. I want to have all of these games and I'm gonna have to make some really difficult decisions. But let's get into it. So the first game on this list that is on the chill category, which is the one we're starting with, is Pokemon Snap, which is 33% off. Pokemon Snap is a beautiful game where you get to explore and research Pokemon in their natural habitat and just take really pretty pictures of them. I'm not sure if there's too much of a story going on in this game. I have never played it before, but I do know that it's really focused on exploration, research, and trying to take the cutest or most useful pictures of these Pokemon. It looks like it's really a beautiful game, and like I said, it is 33% off. Next up, we have one that I have actually bought, and it's Just Dance, the deluxe edition. This is, I believe, 50% off. It's kind of hard for me to check because I've already bought it. I bought it yesterday because I want to get more into cardio workouts that are also really fun, and Just Dance is perfect for that. It's a really colorful and happy kind of game where you get to dance to all of the newest, greatest pop hits, and yeah, you get to learn these dances, have fun while you work out, and improve your physical condition as well. This is also multiplayer if you want to do that. I just play by myself, but you can also play it with other people. You can get better scores and all that stuff, so you definitely have like a goal to work towards. And so far in my experience, even though these type of songs aren't necessarily my favorite songs, it's still just really fun to work out in this way and dance to these songs and have that feeling of achievement as well. So it's really been working for me, and actually right after this video I'm gonna play another round and I get my daily workout in, and I'm very excited actually. Next up, we have one that I personally will not be buying, but I know many of you guys are loving these games. It's Splatoon 2, which is also 33% off. You will see that most of the sort of main flagship kind of games for the Nintendo Switch are currently 33% off. So Splatoon 2 is kind of like, it's comparable to shooter games, but more child-friendly, kid-friendly, I would almost say. It looks a lot like happier, more colorful, and you can play against your opponent or opponents. And I'm pretty sure you just have to cover as much as you can in your color paint to win. That is also on sale if you're interested in that. Next up, another one that I am really excited for, but I don't think it's gonna make the cut for me. It's Luigi's Mansion 3. It's again 33% off. I really want to get this one because I do love the more spooky vibes, but without it being actually terrifying, which is definitely what this game seems to deliver with its cute graphics and Luigi who seems very scared himself in this haunted mansion. You just have to hunt down this scary ghost, and yeah, like I said, it looks like it's a scary game without being genuinely terrifying and with a little bit of humor to it as well. Then we have one that I think could also be a great kids game. I'm not sure if it's really geared towards kids, but it's Little Mouse's Encyclopedia. And this is 80% off, so it's like a steal right now. The art style for this one is incredibly cute. You play as Little Mouse while she is exploring her natural world, so it's very like cottagecore if you are familiar with that term, you know. And it also looks like children's book / story book kind of thing, you know, like the art style is super pretty. The reason why I said it also looks like it could be a good children's game is because the encyclopedia entries actually teach you about the various plants and animals that are in Little Mouse's natural environment, But regardless whether you are a child or have a child that you're trying to teach about the natural world, this game looks super relaxing and fun for all ages, to be honest. Next up, another cozy game that has a good discount right now is Forager, and it's 60% off. And Forager, I've seen it being compared to Stardew Valley probably because of the art style and because of some things that you can do. It's like a 2D world, it's like a 2D open world exploration game. Looks very nostalgic and cute because of the 2D art style. And you can upgrade your base by running dungeons, so it definitely has some combat in it, but you can also do farming, mining, and you can build buildings, and it looks like you can decorate a little bit, so it looks really fun. It looks like you have a bunch of components that are also part of Stardew Valley, which I can see why people have been comparing the two, and it looks very fun to me. This is one I'm strongly considering picking up. Next up is one that just looks sort of like enchanting to me, mainly because of the beautiful art style and the music. It's Death's Door. And this one is for 35% off. In Death's Door, you play as a crow who is responsible for reaping the souls of the dead. Then your assigned soul gets stolen, and so you have to track down the person or the thief that stole it. And you are in this realm where suddenly you discover that here death has never been, and these creatures have been allowed to grow beyond their, you know, time of passing on, and this has also made them overflow with power and greed. So it looks like you do have to do quite some combat to find your stolen soul, the one that you were supposed to carry over. And I just have to say the music for this game sounds absolutely amazing. Then we have another one that's kind of in the same style. It's The Wild at Heart, and it's 25% off. The Wild at Heart is a storybook fantasy, and it is once again beautiful art and music. And here you play with two characters who discover a lost realm, and they also collect these quirky spritelings, which are these cute little magical creatures. They look so adorable, and you can command them to do stuff. And you can also explore this lore-rich world. You can battle, you can gather and collect resources. So this definitely sounds like the cozy game of our dreams, does it not? Moving on, we have Kitaria Fables Deluxe Edition. This is 33% off, and you are living in Paw Village, and I'm pretty sure you play as a cat, or at least a cat-like creature, which is already really intriguing to me. And this village looks adorable. Again, the art style is really, really cute. You live in a village with your fellow other animal villagers. They run shops and everything. You get to interact with them. They look adorable. Now, if you look at the trailer, you see it looks like as if this game is really just focused on like the farming, crafting, and, you know, gathering and exchanging resources with the other villagers. However, I have also watched some reviews where they said it is mainly actually more of a action RPG with farming elements. So that is a thing that I think is good to keep in mind. Again, I have not played it yet. I do want to play it at some point, so I can't give you my own thoughts on it yet, but that is what I have heard. So I think that is a good thing to keep in mind. It's not just cute farming. Apparently there's also quite a lot of like combat and stuff involved. Then we have one that I have discussed in the previous video as well. It's Bear's Restaurant for 25% off. In Bear's Restaurant, you run a restaurant where souls that are passing have their favorite meal for a final, you know, last time before they move on. So even though this does look, you know, very cute and innocent, it does deal with heavy topics surrounding death. So that is a good thing to keep in mind if you are sensitive to that. After they have this meal, it will help them pass on to the afterlife. And then on the topic of, you know, sad games dealing with death, Spiritfarer is also on sale for a whopping 67%. It has beautiful artwork, beautiful music, and it's a cozy management game where, you know, it's all about dying, and you play as Stella and you build your boat, but you're also caring for spirits before they move on. And then there is also farming, fishing, cooking, and crafting involved. So again, it's a lot of what you might want out of a cozy management sim RPG kind of game. You definitely can get that out of this one. And then to end the cozy game section on a little bit of a happier note, Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated is also on sale for 45% off. So this one is for me at least a very, you know, nostalgic game. You get to play as different characters such as Spongebob, Patrick, or Sandy, whilst you explore the sort of world in a more platform style, and you can also engage in very fun looking boss battles. And it also includes multiplayer, which I think is really fun too. So this one is also on sale. So that is the end for the cozy game section. Now we're moving on to the RPG game section. So these are usually a little bit more combat heavy, so you know, don't fully fit into the chill cozy game genre as much. The first one that we have here is God Eater 3, and it is 85% off. Like, what a discount. I have never heard of these God Eater games before, but I'm pretty sure they are similar to games such as Monster Hunter, so you are hunting monsters. You battle and defeat monsters in a very typical epic JRPG fashion. It's a very action-packed game, to those of you that like that. I have never played any of these previous games before, but I'm definitely intrigued by the art style and the crazy reveal, to be honest. Now, sticking with the Monster Hunter theme, Monster Hunter Rise is also on sale for 50% off, which is also a pretty good deal. Monster Hunter Rise is a beautiful RPG game where, you guessed it, you gear up to defeat all kinds of unique looking monsters. This game looks stunning, which is why I personally really want to play it. Although I am a little hesitant and a little nervous about the difficulty level. I feel like it's quite a difficult game, and you really have to grasp the combat and stuff, which is why I've been slightly hesitant. But I am leaning towards wanting to pick it up. Another classic Nintendo game that is on sale is Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. This one is for 33% off, and in this adorable looking installment of the Legend of Zelda series, Link wakes up on a mysterious island, and in order to escape, he has to collect all sorts of magical items to reawaken the Windfish. This is a remake of an older installment, and I think it will therefore really speak to probably both players that are old, but also new players as well. Another game that I'm not sure if it really fits in RPGs, maybe more like roguelike, it's Hades, and it's 40% off. Hades is a game I have talked about before on this channel, and although it is rather hack and slash, the art style and the sort of Greek gods inspired story looks really incredibly intriguing to me. Although I am once again a little bit nervous about the difficulty level in combat. Interestingly enough, dying is truly a part of the story, as you will also unlock different dialogue from the enemies depending on how many times you battle them and what the outcome of the battle is. And then lastly in this RPG section is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. This one is also 33% off. The remastered version of the classic game, the Definitive Edition, looks really beautiful and features remastered music tracks as well. In this game, you use epic-looking weapons to defeat your enemies, both monsters and machines alike. I've heard truly amazing things about the story. I can't tell you too much because I've never played it, but I do think this is like a fan favorite for sure.
The Bioness shall awaken once again. The Mekon's assault.
Okay, so that was it for the RPG section. We're moving on to the last section of this video, which are the Otome Games. I don't know too much about all of these. They are all on my wishlist though. I do want to play them. So I'm just going to go through them and kind of discuss briefly like the tropes that I'm pretty sure are associated with these. So the first one that I have on here is Dairoku, Agents of Sakuratani. I hope I'm saying that right. And it's 30% off. This one looks a little bit more fantasy inspired, as the love interest in this one look not entirely human. And that's all I know. I'm very interested in that because I also love fantasy romance books, for example, so I think this type of game is really my cup of tea. The next one that's also more fantasy inspired is Café Enchante, and it's also 30% off. I've heard that even though it is like very slice of life, it can get also pretty sad, and again, most of the love interests in this game are half human, half something else, kind of supernatural creature. Then we have one that I think comes with a bunch of trigger warnings. It's Piofiore, I hope I'm saying it right, Faded Memories. It's also 30% off, and I do believe this deals more with mafia and therefore comes with things associated with that, you know? So I just heard that it's pretty dark. Quite a lot of trigger warnings, but it's also a fan favorite. Next up is Code Realize, a classic one. It's 30% off. It's more in the fantasy realm as well. I do believe that the main character in this one has a poisonous touch. So she has been locked up by her father, I think, and then maybe she gets saved or kidnapped. by the group of love interests, I think. Then we have Olympia Soiree, which is also 30% off. This is definitely one I really want to get, mainly because of the beautiful art style. It deals with this sort of like color system, so the color of your skin kind of determines your place in society, and the main character, I think she's the last one of her color, and so she has to find, you know, a partner to create children with, and then there's all these love interests. But I do believe that it, you know, it gets pretty deep, and there's of course like maybe more heavy discussions on this division of color in a society. We have Cupid Parasite, which is quite the contrast, more I think of a funny comedic light game, and it's 50% off, so it is definitely the one that has the best deal out of all these Otome games. Cupid Parasite has to do with our main character, who is basically like Cupid, but she notices that maybe this system of, you know, picking people to love each other isn't really working, and I do believe that she sort of makes a deal with the gods or whatever to prove that there's a better way, and she sets up her own dating agency, but then the people that actually work there are like the hardest to match with a woman, and then they are also the love interest, I think, and it's supposed to be really funny. I'm very excited for this one. And we have another one that's recently relatively new, I think. It's Variable Barricade, and it's also 30% off, and I do believe this lady also has to choose a husband again out of all these people, and they're locked in a house. Maybe they get paid if they marry her? Not sure. And the last one is another very classic one. It's Color X Malice, and this one is also 30% off. This is like a more crime novel kind of thing, and I do believe the main character is like a police officer. I'm not entirely too sure about the love interest, whether they're also on the law and order side or on the disorder criminally side. I'm not entirely sure. I do know that this is like a classic. So many people have played this and love this, so definitely also want to try this one out. That's it. These are all the games on my radar, on my wishlist personally, that are currently on sale. I'm sure by now you agree with what I said in the beginning, that Nintendo is truly out for our wallets this month, because holy heck, how are we supposed to choose, you know? But I hope this gives you some inspiration if you are looking for certain games, that now might be the best time to pick them up, now that some of them have a really good deal going on. And yeah, that's it for this video. If you wanna follow me on any other social media, everything is linked in my description box down below, as well as our Discord server, which you can join. Feel free to do so. We chat about games or other things in life. It's really fun and cozy over there. And yeah, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.